everybody, I'm very pleased to say that I am finally back to doing corset reviews, and the first corset we're going to be studying is this CS-426 long line corset with hip ties made by Orchard Corset. Full disclosure, this corset has my label in it because I helped Orchard Corset design this particular style with the hip ties. The proportions and everything is identical to the regular 426, but if you recall, a couple of years ago I made a modification video where I just took a regular 426 corset and I added expandable hip ties to it so it would be able to fit people with a more generous natural hip spring, and they liked it so much that they wanted to put it into production and they gave me credit for it. So it's really exciting, but I just wanted to give you full disclosure that I did help with this corset. But I'll be structuring this study the same way that I do all of my corset reviews. So without further ado, let's get on with the review. Here's the front, the side, the back, and the other side. So like I said, the proportions are exactly the same as the regular 426. So the center front is 13 inches and the princess seam is 10.5 inches. So your torso should be that long from under the breast to the top of the lap here, or longer if you want to be able to sit down comfortably in this corset. The rib spring is 7 inches, so that's 7 inches larger than the waist. The upper hip is 10 inches larger and the lower hip is 13 inches larger than the waistline. But obviously the main feature of this corset is the fact that you can expand the hip ties here. So you are not limited to the 10-inch upper hip spring and the 13-inch lower hip spring. It can be theoretically expanded probably to 20 inches or more if you have very generous hips naturally. So here's the corset laid flat, and for the materials, I believe it's 3 main layers. The fashion fabric of this one is the black cotton twill. It has another cotton interlining, and the inside, the lining here, is also black cotton twill. And turning to the inside here, this is a size 26, fabric content's 100% cotton, dry clean only. This is the Orchard Corset label, and this is my particular label. And my label is in here not because I made the 426 design, because I did not do that. They had the 426 before I even knew them, but I gave them the idea of putting in the expandable hip ties. And I'm very grateful to Orchard Corset for giving me credit for that, because as you guys know, copycat fashions are so rampant in the fashion industry, and they really didn't have to give me any credit at all for it, but they decided to give me credit for it anyways, and they were just really nice about it. So I'm very grateful to them for that. Turning to the side here, it has a 6-panel pattern. 1, 2, 3 makes the front, 4, 5, 6 makes the back. Most of the hip flare is between panels 3 and 4, where the hip tie is here. And it's constructed using the sandwich method. So the bones are double boned on the seams and sandwiched between 2 layers of fabric. And the waist tape in this particular corset is a little bit difficult to detect because of the thicker material of the cotton twill, but I do feel, and I see a slight outline of it, it's 1 inch wide, extending from the front to the back there. It's sandwiched in between the layers. The binding is bias strips of matching black twill, and it's machine stitched on the outside here. You can see that it's also stitched in the ditch at the top there. And it is also machine finished on the back here with a quite large lip there. This also has 8 garter tabs, 4 on each side. The back modesty panel in this corset is just short of 6 inches wide, so I would say it's about 4.5 inches of usable space once you flip it over. And it is unstiffened, finished in the same black twill, and it is stitched to one side of the corset. You can remove this stitching if you don't like modesty panels. Additionally, there is an unstiffened black twill placket by the Busk here, and it's about 1/4 inch wide, which is perfectly sufficient for hiding the gap in between the 2 sides of the busk. The busk in this corset is 11.5 inches long. It has 5 loops and pins. The last 2 are a little bit closer together for more control over the tummy. It is 1/2 inch wide on each side, a standard flexible busk, but it is not quite as flexible as some other flexible busks that I've experienced in the past. Orchard Corset's busk seems to be just very slightly stiffer than some other ones that are available on the market. This corset has a total of 22 bones, 11 on each side, not including the front busk. So it's mostly double boned on the seams, 2, 4, 6, 8. Those are all double boned with 1/4 inch wide spirals. There's another one bone on this seam, another spiral bone. I'm not sure why they didn't add another bone in the back there. Perhaps they felt that they didn't need it. I thought perhaps they only did that for the smaller sizes, but as this is a size 26 and it still doesn't have an extra bone, even though there's ample space here, perhaps they felt that because it's right next to the grommets, it didn't need that extra structure. But in the back here, it also has two, I believe, 1/4 inch wide or 3/8 inch wide flat steel bones sandwiching the grommets there. And for those who are curious, the bones on the side seam do extend all the way down to the bottom of the panel here. It's not like the bones stop right there. They do extend all the way down. So if you are expanding these hip ties, it's not going to be like just really floppy fabric. It does have some structure to it here. This corset has a total of 24 grommets. They're size 00, equidistantly spaced with a medium flange around them, and they are finished in silver. The washers on the underside are a touch bigger. There are a little bit of splits on the underside here. They do catch a tiny bit on the laces, but the laces are quite hardy, so they don't fray and they're very difficult to snap anyways. All of these grommets seem to be holding in quite well. None seem to be pulling out. I like the cotton twill finish for these particular corsets because I feel that the grommets grip onto them a little bit harder compared to the satin 426 corsets. The laces here is your black nylon shoelace style corset lacing. It's your pretty standard workhorse. I find that it's a little bit springy, but that springiness does stretch out over time, and it's very difficult to break. The shorter laces on the side seams are a little bit more plush, but you can obviously trade these out because Orchard Corset sells satin ribbon in different lengths, and you can also just go to your regular sewing and notion store and pick up some pretty ribbon laces for yourself. The ribbon laces don't even have to be particularly strong if it's over the hips, because there is relatively little tension over the hips compared to the tension that you need to tie up your corset in the first place and get a waist reduction. The long line underbust with hip ties is available in black cotton and also black satin, and it's available from sizes 16 all the way up to 46. From size 16 to 32, it's $82 normally, and from size 34 up to 46 is $87. So this concludes my review of the CS-426 with hip ties made by Orchard Corset. I hope you enjoyed it and you learned something new. If you did, please click that like button and help support the channel. If you have any comments or questions, or if you have this corset, let me know how you like it or don't like it in the comments down below, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!